Good morning, everyone. Hi, welcome to the very first show of Conscious Communications with the Practice of No Judgment, Just Love. I'm ShaRon Rea. First, let me just say, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. This is my first show, first time I'm going solo, so a little bit of nerves there, but I think I'm going to work through them. So my name is ShaRon Rea, and I am a family and life coach. The name of my business is The Whole Family Coaching. And what I specialize in is communication and building relationships. I'm also the founder of the global movement, No Judgment, Just Love, which is here to inspire us all to live together, one conversation at a time. So now, this program is supported and sponsored by Enlightened World Network. EWN was created as a safe space for people to share their personal and spiritual callings, their inspiration, their motivation, and their educational messages. And that's what this is going to be, an educational message. I've been a member since they began last year, 2019, in August, and I so appreciate this community very much. I feel very welcomed. The people there are kind, so I encourage you to find them and join. So we've scheduled 8 of these shows. They're only about 15 minutes long, give or take, and they begin today. They're on Mondays and Fridays from 9 a.m. Arizona and Pacific time, starting at noon Eastern time. And they're going to start today, July 20th, and go through August 14th. So 2 shows each week. Everything that I'm going to share about conscious communications has been something I've been practicing for a long time, something I also use with my clients. You know, we've been talking a long time, right? Probably you were 1 or 2, maybe 3 when you said your first words. I remember my daughter's first words. One of them was jugo de manzana. I don't know why she started out with Spanish, but that means apple juice. And my other daughter, her first word was light. And so we talk a lot. And are we really conscious about what we're saying, who we're speaking to, how they receive our messages and our words? Do you feel comfortable talking with anybody? Or are there some people that maybe you have a little trouble speaking with? So that's what these tips are going to be for today. Just a few little things to think about as you go forward this week and talk. Now, each session, each episode is going to have 1 topic and 3 suggestions for you to consider. And I will always end with a quote or a message from No Judgment, Just Love. So today's topic is talking. Yes, let's begin at the beginning with talking. Now, think about the things that you say. How well do you communicate? And if you're on Facebook and you can write to me in the messages, I'm going to check every now and then to see who's here. And if we're live. So I have 2 people in my life that are very difficult to talk with. That's my daughter and my sweet friend. And what happens is I lived a lot of time in New York. So my cadence is really fast. I think fast and I talk fast. So I often have to give myself a breath because these 2 sweet people speak a little slower and they are very specific about their words. I use a lot of words that are descriptive. Their words are very concrete. So when I'm communicating with them, I choose, because you can choose how you communicate. Either naturally you just talk and not worry about whether anybody's understanding you or not, or you can be a little more conscious about who you're speaking with and what words you choose. So I'm asking you, who are the people in your world that are easy to talk to? And who are the people in your world that you have a little more difficulty talking with? Hold those 2 people, or however many they are, close as we move forward. So as you're speaking with people, and we're talking about talking, not listening, that's going to be next week, but talking, when you're delivering your messages, are you putting up some blocks. And here are some blocks to think about. The first one is, are you talking and making it all about you? People don't really want to hear everything about you. A little bit there, but make sure you ask about them and give them an opportunity to speak. Second thing is, are you embellishing, trying to make this a big fish story because you want to impress, or minimizing it because you don't want to give all the details? Now, I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong, just want you to be conscious of that when you do that. And the third thing is giving unsolicited advice. Now, how many people like unsolicited advice? We really want to ask for your opinion before you offer it. That could very much put up a roadblock to your communication. The fourth thing is something that I know many people struggle with is living in the past and speaking from there in a negative way, in a regretful way, in a cautious way. None of those are wrong necessarily, but just watch your conversation to see whether it's mostly that or not. And on the other side, going into the future and worrying and having fear and having concern. People want to have positive conversations. Now, you can blend a little of that in, but make sure you spice it up with a little something futuristic that might happen well for everyone. The sixth one is criticizing someone else. If your conversations are constantly correcting or criticizing or judging someone else, once again, you could be putting up a roadblock. And then the last one that I want to offer for you to consider is, are you respecting the person that you're speaking with? Because when you respect someone, your words come out a little differently than when you're condescending or disregarding someone because you have no respect. So that's the first tip. How well do you communicate? I'm going to just check my phone real quick to see if we are. All righty. And now let's go to the second one. Did you know that we on average speak about 7,000 words a day? When I read that statistic, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of words. And so as we are talking about conscious communication, being aware of what you're saying, 7,000 words a day not only is a lot, but that means you are really having a chance to deliver to the people that you're talking about who you are, what's important to you, what you value. And at the same time, they're having an opportunity to gauge that against who they are. So here are some questions to ask yourself tomorrow or today. Of those 7,000 words you're getting ready to speak, or that you spoke yesterday, how many of those words were positive, uplifting, happy, confirming about you and other people? How many of those words were judgmental or gossipy or tearing someone down or disbelief that their actions are that they're doing what they're doing? How can they possibly be doing those things? Now, both of those areas, again, no judgment, just love. Just be careful and watch how much your conversation is that. And then the last thing to consider about the 7,000 words that you're speaking is how many of them are just throwaway words? How many of them could you have been silent? How many of them could you have been a little more careful with your words? So tomorrow or today, if you choose, and for the rest of the week, just be conscious about the words that you choose, whether they are confirming and uplifting, judgmental or gossipy, or have no purpose at all. And once again, no judgment, just love, because all of those are valid. You just want to make sure your conversation blends. Now we're going to talk a little bit about self-talk. How many of you are aware and really pay attention to what's going on in your head that you say about yourself. So there's lots of conversation that we have talking about other people, other things, other places inside our head. That's just normal. Judging and comparing and evaluating is normal. I'm speaking about the talk about yourself that you say inside your head. So, I want to give you a little example for me. I play tennis and I'm really quite good. But there are times that I play other people that are a whole lot better than me. Now, I know I'm good. I know I have a serve where I can ace people. I know I can return forehand and backhand and get a winner. But when I'm playing somebody who I know is better than me, or I think is better than me, inside my head, I am now knocking myself down. Oh, Lord, you know you can't play these people. You know they're going to hit the ball better. Why do you think you should be on the, all of that chatter? And so what I offer to you, if you have any of those times where you're just knocking yourself down, is to take a breath, pause, and listen to the words that you're saying to yourself. Discover whether they are building you up, increasing or confirming your confidence in your skills and your abilities, or lessening them and talking you down. Because when I do that, you can't play them, they're better than you. Guess what? I get what I assume. I can't play them, and I am not hitting the shot well. So I now know that when I start hearing that voice, I take a pause and I just say, y'all have to wait a second, because inside my head, I'm going, you got this. You know you have skills. You know you can do this. So that's the self-talk adjustment that I'm offering for you to consider. And that is to listen to what you're saying to yourself inside your head, and then challenge those thoughts. Are they true? Are they not? Are they true for this moment, or are they not? Have you been conditioned to think a certain way? Or are you telling yourself something that is true and you just don't like it? And so then you have the beautiful ability to choose to change. Once you listen, challenge, then you can choose to change, because we believe what we tell ourselves. And what we tell ourselves can either, again, uplift our self-esteem or not so much. So there you are, the 3 tips for today. How well do you think you communicate? 7,000 words. What are they doing in your world? What are they showing people about you? And your self-talk. Well, we're just about out of time. I want to really stick to my 15 minutes. And so as I end, I want to end with a no judgment, just love quote. And that quote is, your words are powerful. Your words can harm or heal. And when you think about that, your words can harm or heal, it helps you choose wisely if you pause and you use no judgment, just love for wherever you are. Because there's a quote, the tongue has no bones, but it is strong enough to break hearts. I so appreciate you being here. I would love your feedback and your comments. If you're on Facebook, just put them in the chat at the bottom. If you're on YouTube, put them in the chat there. If you want to email me with some comments and some suggestions, I would welcome that. Find me at ShaRon, S-H-A, capital R-O-N, at njjl.world. That's ShaRon, at nnjl.world, or just private message me on Facebook if you're there. So I hope these tips are helpful to you. I hope they give you a little bit broader opinion about the words that you speak, how you communicate, helping you become much more aware. Because in today's world, we are having some very important conversations about our country, about our climate, about racial injustice, conversations in our family, because we've been in our homes a lot with the people that we only see usually some of the time. Now we're with them almost all the time. So your conversations are important. Thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Speak your mind, but do it with no judgment, just love, and absolutely make every word count. Thank you.